welcome to the Barnhouse Podcast. We're doing our segment Hometown Heroes. We got here with us in the studio today me, Jake, and Austin, as well as Joe Barry. How we doing, Joe?
I'm all right, man.
Yeah, you doing good? What have you been up to lately? We haven't caught up in a while.
Working.
Working? What do you do for work? Framing still?
No, I work on a freaking Christmas tree farm, man.
Christmas tree farm.
Yeah.
Which one?
The one off Stringtown and Dean Kreger.
Oh, shit.
Holiday
Okay.
U Cut, brother.
Okay. Damn.
Is that your shout out to them? Come get your
guess.
Christmas tree farms here or your Christmas trees here.
I suppose.
Get your
Yeah,
Christmas
here in
tree
the middle
farms.
of June.
Nah, dude. Right now we're doing weddings.
Oh, that's cool.
So that's what I do during the summer. Set up the place as a venue for weddings and
Nice.
all that.
I was at Gunnar Lambert's wedding, and it was at a Christmas tree farm.
Where was that one at?
I can't remember. I can't remember where it was at, but it was definitely at a Christmas tree farm, and it was really cool.
That's how you know Christian had a good time. He doesn't
Was there a
remember
big
it, where
lake
it
in
was.
the background?
Yeah. Is that your guys'?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Cranberry Lake. Yeah, Cranberry Lake
But
Farm.
you know who Gunnar Lambert is, the redheaded dude?
Yeah, I remember him.
Yeah. He had his wedding a couple months ago, probably like close to a year ago now.
I was gonna say we
I
haven't.
think it was last summer. So, but Brandon was there too, Jake's brother, and it was a blast. No, I had a great time. Lots of food, lots of booze.
Work been steady for you, Joe?
Yep.
Yeah.
So busy, I got my freaking boat and I don't have time to take it out.
You get a boat?
Yeah.
Yeah. How big is it?
12 foot.
Ooh,
12-foot rowboat.
nice.
Just enough to take a small fishing party out.
Yeah.
And it's only big enough for 2 people, but
Who cares? I
Small
mean-
party.
And then, you know what you could do? There's what lake is
you
it?
could tow a donut. What the hell? Why did I want to call it a donut? Big floaty, inner tube. That's what I was saying. You could tow an inner tube behind you. Get a third guy out there.
There's what lake is it? There's a lake right below Clear Lake that you can go to that you can rent a boat. You can-
Anahuac?
Tanwax?
Is it? No, is it?
Right.
Tanawax?
Like that's the closest one to Clear Lake.
It might be Tanawax. Yeah, I think that's the one. Yeah. So Tanawax, you can rent not only like a small boat with a trolling motor on it, but you can also rent one of those big pontoon boats
Well,
for like a big party and stuff like that, and go out in the water and party it up.
Definitely
Well-
don't mind a pontoon boat.
That'd be
It's
fun,
been a
right?
while, yeah.
I'd be down for that, you know. And also Tyler, Tucker's husband or fiance, his dad has a boat, and he got his boating license last year, and we didn't go on the boat at all. He was kept offering. I was like, let's take that motherfucker out this year, dude. I want to go out to like Alder or something and go fucking out in the middle of nowhere. You know what I'm saying?
right. Well, the first day taking that boat out, you remember Tater Tot?
Yeah, tater tat.
Frickin', we took that boat out to Rapjohn Lake, not
Yeah.
far, and it was nice. Nice day like this, right? And frickin' Tate, he hooks into this nice 12-inch trout, and we're having a blast, and then all of a sudden the clouds get really dark, and then we hear and we look across the lake and we see the storm coming.
No, it's like a wall.
And we see all the other boats, they freaking drop their anchors and everything, and we're like, oh, we don't have that. We just have the oars, man. Well,
Oh, we're
the
shit. out of
freaking
luck.
wind hit, the rain hit, the freaking boat starts spinning in circles, and I can't freaking control it. And it was a good time.
Like a scene out of Life of Pi.
So, solution to that is Tate calls me up the other day while I'm at work, and I'm like, what do you want? He goes, come up here. I got a surprise. And I'm like, oh. I get up to the house. He pulls out this freaking 8 horsepower motor. He's like, we ain't doing that shit no more. So we were thinking about taking the boat out again today, test out the motor and all that, but it's hot, man. I don't know if I want to go out there.
It is freaking hot, but it's a perfect time to go out in the water right now if it's gonna be like 90 degrees. I was
Well-
thinking about going to the river after a while. That's my favorite thing to do is plant my ass in a lawn chair in the middle of the river and just drink a few beers.
Well, sitting on a boat in the water, metal boat, and you got the
Oh,
reflection of the water.
Hot.
You got the reflection of the water coming on you. It gets warm, dude.
Yeah, I bet. Still got no cover. Like we used to the past 2 years before my daughter was born because we recently had a baby. We went with my wife's family over to what is it? There's a it's part of the Columbia River, but it's like upriver quite a bit, and it's near the border of Oregon and Washington. Super cool place. Not a lot of people know about it, but you can take your boat there, and the river there is so like wide and big enough that it's like a lake that just stretches really far, right? So there's little spots where we just like they have a boat and a ski-doo. So we'll take the ski-doo in the boat and we'll go out to like an area where it's secluded where there's nobody out there, and then we'll anchor the boat and then take turns riding around on the ski-doo. So much fucking fun. We'll bring like sandwiches and food and stuff and drinks, and they have has a cooler on the boat and shit. Super fun, and the boat has like a radio on it too, so we're bumping jams and shit. It's a blast, and it's always super nice out because it's like in that area where it almost borders the desert, you know.
Right.
So it's like super hot, and it's just and the water's always really warm and stuff. It's super nice. It's yeah, and I'm sure there's good sturgeon fishing there too.
Yeah, sturgeon. You got to be careful with the sturgeon. There's a lot of rules and regulations on them now.
Yeah,
So,
I'm sure.
like you
The
catch 'em,
dinosaur fish.
you can't freaking take them out of the water or nothing.
Really?
Yep. They're protected here pretty much.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
Hmm.
I don't do a lot of sturgeon fishing, so I mean, I think they're cool fish.
No, I know.
They're cool ass fish.
What was cool is I started doing fish tanks and stuff, and I was online trying to find some way I could order some, rainbow trout or something from a fish tank.
Right.
Found this place in Utah that you could buy sturgeon for your ponds
Huh.
and your lakes and stuff. I'm
That's
like,
kind of cool.
yeah, $90 for a
I-
little
I
tiny
am-
thing.
I am obsessed with like turtles and shit, and turtles and frogs. I want a fucking like tortoise or something like that. I think they're so cool, like a little box turtle. I think they're just so cool. I don't know what it is. I don't know why. I just think they're cool as shit. Like turtles probably stink to high heavens, but I want I want to get one of those like fucking those shrimp. You know what I'm talking about? Or the lobsters. You know what I'm talking about?
Turtles aren't that bad. I used to own two.
Yeah.
As long as you maintain their aquarium, usually.
Interesting.
No, when you get a tortoise, you're gonna have to pass that down to the kids. It's gonna
Yeah,
outlive
that's
you,
what I'm
dude.
saying. It'd be like a family heirloom, and it'd be like this is. I would have to have a great name for him. Like what would be a great name for a tortoise?
Yeah,
You know.
my turtles hated me.
Oh, what's his name? What's the guy that played Garth? You know who I'm talking about? In Wayne's World. Dana Carvey. Yeah, I'll name him Dana Carvey. Do you know why? Master of Disguise. You ever seen Master of Disguise?
Turtle.
Turtle Club. My turtle enough to be in the Turtle Club.
Jesus.
Yeah, name him Dana Carvey so that, yeah, it makes sense. Make perfect sense. He's turtle enough now to be in the Turtle Club. Yeah.
Turtle.
So I always thought turtles were cool, or just like fish tanks in general. I thought they were really cool. I always thought they were just like low maintenance animals. So I mean, like obviously you have to get the tank right and everything like that. But once you get it all squared away, I think it's really cool.
Saltwater tanks. You don't have to manage them as much.
Yeah, I'm sure. Especially if you have like
You just got to make sure it's all
I'm getting
the
handed a
levels
picture.
are where they need to be.
Oh, Joe just handed me a picture of his penis.
No,
It's
it's not very impressive, is it?
that's cool though.
It never
That
is.
super cool. I always wanted to keep like crawdads too, or
I
something.
have
like that.
crawdads in
You
there.
do?
Yep.
That's cool. Are they from the river? Are they
Yep.
from? That's cool. That's so fucking cool. What do you feed them?
Worms.
Worms?
Yep. Just worms.
That's crazy.
And then
Do you have like periwinkles you put in there too?
I'm gonna get some. I
Yeah.
just got
The,
started
the
on
season the season just came up for them, so they're getting pretty big right now.
it. So yeah, I tried trout, but I don't have $500 for an aquarium chiller, so I had to release them back. And I think I want to try and do some bluegill because those things don't care.
Yeah,
So
that's cool.
yeah.
I always thought aquariums were really cool. It's just they're kind of an expensive hobby though.
Oh yeah, I know. But I picked up a nice 55-gallon tank too, and I'm gonna get that one set up here at some point. And like you was saying, saltwater tanks. Everybody's got their tropical fish
Right.
tanks and all that.
Well, that and you can put like filtering like stuff down there, like anemones and shit like
Yeah.
that, and everything, and that helps filter the water
So-
out naturally.
Like in my tank I have set up now, all of that's all the plants are real and everything to help with filtration and all
That's
that.
cool.
So I do have a water filter on there just as a precaution, but I'd like to set up a self-sustaining ecosystem,
Right.
which I'm going to do with my 55-gallon tank. But as I was saying, everybody has their tropical, their salt water, and all that, and they, that's cool and everything. But you ever seen a goddamn redneck fish tank, largemouth bass, yellow
Catfish
perch?
in there or something.
Yep.
We all got me a catfish. Let me get him for you. Let me show you.
Right?
Got electric eel on this one over here. Got that Cajun twang, even though we're in Washington.
I say here, boy.
Where you from? Oh, I'm from Washington, right here.
Oh,
The deep north.
I just got punched in the jaw. No, you know what I always thought was also super cool is like those little glass biomes that are like,
Terrariums.
yeah, terrariums, but they're like self-sustaining
Yep.
ecosystems, and they have like little clouds and stuff inside of them. I always thought those were so fucking cool.
You should ask Slaughter. I got him onto this YouTube channel for a little while, Ants Canada.
Ants Canada. Let me look it up real quick. Ants. Shout out to Ants Canada. You guys want to do shout out?
Ridiculously
Yes.
fascinating. David Attenborough level
Oh, cool.
presentation.
So
Canada.
yeah, no, he has a huge terrarium that's got different
Oh, different ants.
ants, but
Those are cool too.
his-
I always wanted an ant farm.
but no, this has like ants, crickets, frogs, lizards. He had a
This
freaking
is-
crocodile in it at one
Hold
point.
on a sec.
That's a full
I just looked him
ecosystem.
up, and the first video is I unleashed a green predator into my giant rainforest vivarium.
Oh, that would be the big snake.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
Yeah, dude, he's got lots of stuff, and it's what got me
Subscribe.
into doing this stuff.
Subscribe. That's super cool.
Freaking,
So yeah, I didn't know you were so deep into this hobby. Like, what is that the only aquarium you have, or you have another one?
I have 3, but only one set up.
Okay.
So where I need to put my 55-gallon aquarium, before I can set that up, I got to get rid of my piano. Before I get rid of my piano, I need to find somebody who can appraise an antique piano because mine's from the 1800s, and it can go anywhere from 1,000 to 40 grand.
Damn.
I
Is
know.
it a upright baby grand, or is it
It's
a?
an upright,
Okay.
and I'm like, I know I ain't gonna get 40 grand for it, but if I can get something for it,
How's the exterior on it? Is the finish fine and stuff? Is that scratches and shit?
it's a little dinged up. I
Does it have
mean,
any missing keys?
nope.
Hmm.
It's for the most part.
When was the last time it was tuned?
Ugh, it wasn't
Yeah.
tuned when I got it. It was a gift from my grandma.
It's still so cool. I love piano
right.
so much.
Well, you remember Richard Totten?
yeah. I saw him at Gunther's wedding actually.
Ah, well,
He's wearing a suit.
Yep.
He works for the government.
yeah,
Yeah.
he'd always come up and sit down at the piano and start playing the Halo freaking theme song on the piano. So yeah,
yeah, I miss Richard. He's a super cool guy.
he was up here a couple weeks ago.
Really. I didn't
Yeah,
know
he
that.
was only up here for like a day or so.
You know who else I saw at Gunner's wedding was Eli Schmidt.
Oh God,
You remember Eli
I
Schmidt?
remember Eli.
Eli and Kyle Gribby. We got another guy passing out over here in the corner.
Another guy.
Another guy. No, sorry. We recorded earlier this morning. Austin has actually been up for 24 hours, so we really appreciate you coming in and filling in this empty spot for us. Even though you're already here,
You want my you want some?
we've already given him some
Pick me
gum.
up.
We've already given him some of this, which is another shout out to on our
Appreciate it.
podcast to NeuroGum. Thank you for giving me anxiety when I don't need it. No, I'm just kidding. We got this extra strength stuff, and it's like 100 milligrams of caffeine per piece. So he's had like 3. So that's like the equivalent of like an energy drink, but like,
I'd prefer the energy drink.
yeah, I'm
To
sure.
be honest.
If you'd have said something, I could have picked you one up.
Well,
I'm
we
not
went to the
even
coffee
supposed-
stand, and this
we-
motherfucker didn't get caffeine. So
Yeah.
I'm
we,
not
we,
even
we were
supposed to be drinking those fucking things.
we were honestly talking about it like when we were negotiating this whole get together.
yeah, but you decided to take an extra route though. Like that's
No. I'm talking about like in between shows we were gonna go hit up the Barney's Corner.
Shit, he was.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you're right.
And
we were
that
gonna go.
absolutely did not happen.
You should have said something. You were just laying over here, passed out on the couch.
Yeah, well, I wasn't fucking thinking about it. I'm not the brains here today, dude.
Correct.
That's true. That's true.
That was
I
the-
apologize. So
That's-
at some point we can take a pause so we can go have a caffeine break if you like.
oh, yeah.
Okay.
I'm fucking burning up, dude.
You're on fire. It is pretty warm in here right now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
turning that fan off was a mistake.
The problem is that we can't turn the fan on without it making like shitloads of background noise. So
Mhm.
Well, we can all just get fucking naked and call it good.
I'm doing okay right now. So
Fucking Diddy party over here.
Diddy party. Yeah, who brought the baby oil?
That's the problem.
We have
We only have canola oil.
Oh,
I got
speaking
nail
of which,
gun oil in the car.
Speaking of which, guys, hold on. Before we go any further, we need an update on the bat because we on our episode of last time, we had a bat that was stuck to the fly strip inside the studio.
Yeah.
Originally we thought it was dead, and it turns out it was alive, and it started coming alive towards the end of the episode. So, we ended up actually saving the bat. If it turns out if you use canola oil, like Jake just said, you can use it to detach things from those fly strips, including bat's wings. So Austin, being the brave man that he was, threw it on some leather gloves and detached the bat from the fly trap. If you guys would like some pictures, let us know. We can throw them on Instagram because I took a few. But it was a tiny little bitty baby bat. We washed it all the canola oil off of it, and then we hung it on the chicken wire outside. And later that afternoon, Jake said it disappeared, right?
Oh no, he was there a majority of the afternoon, like up until the evening hour.
Drying off.
Yeah, he was just hanging out and drying off, and I wiggled him on the fence to make sure he was still alive every now and again. And probably I came back to check on him probably around like 11:30 at night. Come out there with a flashlight and check it out, and didn't see him in anywhere in the area. So he was. I'm guessing he went and found another little place to kick it until he comes back.
It's 11 o'clock. I mean, nighttime where they'd normally start being more
Yeah.
active.
Yeah, so that's a good sign that he took off. He probably dried off the rest of the way and flew away somewhere.
I'd like to make a proposal that Bruce the Bat, so we so named him. Bruce the Bat should be our mascot for the Barnhouse podcast. The Barnhouse Bruce.
Sure.
Barnhouse Bruce.
Barnhouse Bruce.
We can edit them into the logo and
Yeah,
have
that's what I'm
them kinda
saying. Well,
fly.
yeah, instead of having it being like all of us, it could be like.
So
the
we need to
bat,
classify what kind of bat he is, so he's got the right image.
Yeah,
though.
what's
Right.
hold on, let's Google this.
AI's got to make the right image.
It's a rat with
You don't-
wings.
You don't.
It's a
You
tiny
don't want to
little
go displaying a fruit bat.
What kind of bat is native to my area? Hold on. Damn it, wrong thing. What kind of bat is native to my area? In Eatonville, Washington area, the most common bat species you're likely to find are little brown bat, Yuma myotis, and big brown bat. Other species like the Pallas bat and California myotis are also found in the Pacific Northwest, including this area. Little brown bat. This one resides at attics and buildings. Yeah, I think this is the one that was. This little brown bat. This bat is known to reside in attics and buildings during summer months, and hibernates in caves during winter. They prefer areas near water and are commonly found in forests. Yuma myotis is a smaller species with dark. Oh, this might have been him actually. Yuma myotis. This smaller species with dark brown fur forages around dusk in areas with water sources and vegetation. They can be found in various habitats, including forests, grasslands, and deserts. So it was very dark. Like the bat was very dark. It wasn't like a light brown.
Yeah.
So, big brown bat. This bat is one of the most common species found in buildings around. Yeah, I don't think it's that one.
Good question is how would we know if he was fully grown or if he was a baby still?
That's true.
You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, like all the other ones here, it seems like they're more of a lighter color, and he's the only one in this list that's like small and dark. So
Well, maybe
just-
it's
I would
Was he
just-
dark before he was wet?
Yeah.
He looked brown to me.
he was like a dark brown, is what I'm saying. Most other bats are like a lighter brown, is what I'm getting at.
Mm.
I think. I don't know. I'm not a bat expert. I'm not
Neither
Batman.
am I.
I'm not Batman.
Go ask Dracula.
I'm Batman.
yeah, you're
Yeah.
Batman.
Who's your favorite superhero, Austin?
I have to say Iron Man.
Iron Man, really? Because he's super rich and cocky.
Not really.
Smart.
It's just.
He gets all the
I mean,
bitches.
he's not like a superhero. He just has genius.
Yeah, he essentially that is his power. is
He
he's
builds
smart.
anything that he needs and
True.
doesn't let anyone tell him.
He's like
any
Batman.
Well,
He
if
has
that's-
the power of
if-
prep time.
But that's the same thing as the kind of Batman, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that makes sense.
If you want to compare, heroes, I guess Iron Man and Batman are kind of like one of the same.
Dude,
Very
Marvel and DC
true.
all have their counterparts to
I f-
the same characters.
I feel
Yeah.
like Batman is a bit different though because he's the world's greatest detective. So like he's a bit more geared towards like investigation. Yeah. Not only that, but he has way more martial arts skills than Iron Man ever could.
I'll give you
'Cause, like
that.
if you took both of their suits away, like they both rely on gadgets. That's true. But at the end of the day, Bruce Wayne is still like a insane martial artist across a multiple level of oh shit. That bird just tried to fly in here.
He said, "Oh shit,
Yeah.
already
Come
got
here,
caught."
bastard. I get you.
Joe just pulled out his 9 and is just like, "Come here, bird." No, but Bruce Wayne's like a martial artist across multiple different fields. So it's like,
Trained by the League of Assassins.
exactly, Ra's al Ghul. Yeah. So I feel like they're a little bit different, but they just have a lot of money, in the way they act and stuff like that. Tony Stark is a lot more cocky. Bruce Wayne, I feel like, is a lot more reserved.
Mm.
Joe,
What's up?
favorite superhero?
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Is you like little boys?
No. I don't know. First superhero movie I ever watched.
That is-
and it's
yeah.
just it's stuck in my head.
Yeah, Tobey
I can
Maguire
appreciate
really
that.
sold us with that role as Spider-Man.
Honestly, like everyone
And,
hates on it.
Whoever,
Oh, the Amazing Spider-Man.
what's that one guy that plays J. Jonah Jameson?
Oh, I know who you're talking
Yeah,
about.
him and Tobey Maguire, I swear, sold that series. Just
Well,
those two
it's,
actors.
It's crazy because it got so much hate for such a long time that Tobey Maguire couldn't pull off because he was like 28 when he played that role or something like that. So like he was supposed to be like a teenager in high school,
Yeah.
like. And
I don't know.
not only that, but like Mary Jane Watson,
But you
was
gotta
a-
give Fox
was
that
a
negative
bit-
credit.
the
That's
ch-
their fault.
or who's the main who the first chick that he was with in the first movie?
Mary Jane.
Yeah, Mary Jane. Yeah, she was a bitch. Yeah, no, seriously. I looked at. I think it was the second one when he moved out and he was in his own apartment or whatever, and it was his birthday, and all this shit kept going sideways. He got fired from his job. Like J. Jonah Jameson fired him or something like
Right.
that, and like he got reamed by his teacher, and then she broke up with him, and he came home and his grandma was like, "Happy birthday, Peter," and I was like, "Oh shit!" Like all that shit just happened, and they didn't even tell you it was his birthday till he got home, and his grandma was like, or his Aunt May was like, "Happy birthday!" And I was like, "Shit!" I was like, Peter should have been, or he didn't go home. He went over to her house, and he should have been with that one chick, the landlord's daughter. You know what I'm talking about?
I
Chick
think
that-
that's
chick
part
that
of the
is-
backstory that they just didn't put on
Chick
film.
that made him food all the time.
That I isn't that 3, not
is it
2?
3?
That's 3.
Is it 3? I might be mixing them up, but either way, the point still stands is that she's a terrible person,
Right.
And or he should have stuck with the blonde chick. The blonde chick actually had like full on interest in him, and she was cute. Like she was the same chick that was the redheaded chick in Jurassic World.
Yeah, but when you're 20 in love,
Yes.
Yeah.
But hey, I gotta say though too, all 3 actors that played Spider-Man, I think all of them did great.
Oh yeah, and
My
then
favorite was the latest Spider-Man when all 3 of them are together.
oh
I'm
yeah.
like,
Oh,
That was just fanfare, but I loved it. They did it so well it was for the fans. It wasn't like oh, this is gonna be a major key point in the fucking Marvel universe. No, it was just specifically for the fans.
right.
It was everything that, and they put memes in it. They did references of memes like the 3 of the Spider-Man pointing at each other.
Right.
You know,
Yep.
they did that in it, and it was just so funny and it was so fun.
We
And
got
if
to see
you're an
a-
old Spider-Man fan, it was great.
we also got to see a reliving of like a better side of Dr. Octopus.
We're all
And,
right.
and,
Dr.
and
Octopus,
Willem
whatever.
Dafoe as the Goblin. That was cool. I love Willem Dafoe as the
I
Goblin.
know. I feel like he did better in this one than the old one, selling that split personality role.
Yeah.
Like, selling the switch.
But the Doctor Octopus scene where he comes like coherent again and he's not like a raving lunatic is so fucking like heart wrenching, because Tobey Maguire is like, it's good to see you too, man. Like it's been a
Oh,
long
yeah.
time. Like it's two friends greeting each other because that's how their relationship started. Was a professor that had a student who he was very impressed with.
Right.
You know, and they were friends
Right.
and colleagues. You know, and then everything went sideways because of that.
The experiment went wrong.
Yeah, the claws or whatever, the fucking arms.
I tell you what though, the first time I watched that one, the freaking I started dying laughing and I had to rewind the damn movie when Toby's like, "Wait, web shooters? You need web shooters?" And he just shoots the
Oh,
freaking
yeah.
web and they're like,
And they're like,
Did
where
that
does
just
it come
come out of
from?"
you?
Yeah, where does it come from?
Does it come out anywhere else?
Yeah, I thought
Certainly
that
hope
was
not,
such
he
a
said.
funny. That's that's such a funny thing too, because like that's accurate to the comics. Like I think the original Spider-Man didn't have like spider webs like actually coming out of his body. I think they're actually like
Oh no, it was definitely that was the comic. There was web shooters just about every comic book.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. So that was the joke. Is
Right.
that he's the only one that actually produces webbing, and that was created in the movie.
So I think
Yeah.
it's funny that in the third Tobey Maguire movie, they implied the concept of ED to his web shooters or his web shooting.
Oh yeah, yeah, because he
He had like a
lost
web
his-
block or whatever.
Yeah.
Like,
Ooh, bless you.
excuse me. Anyways, I think it's hilarious that they fucking implied the whole web block thing due to his depression.
That's yeah. You know what I found out recently? You guys ever you seen Stand by Me, right? Like that
Mhm.
Stephen King movie where
Yep.
the 4 kids go try to find a dead body.
Yep.
You know that kid with like the shaved head, the kind of like the stronger type one, like the one that's like the lead, almost like the leader, the hard one, I guess.
Yeah.
The one that always wears a white shirt.
I think he's a Sheen.
No.
It's been a minute since I've
No,
seen that movie.
No. His brother is Joaquin Phoenix.
No shit.
That's River Phoenix. He died from I think either like a drug overdose or something like that. When he was like in like 20 something.
Yeah, that's pretty common.
Yeah, but I was like, I had no idea that the whole like there's a family like that. The family was in it, not just like Joaquin. You know, Joaquin doesn't. That's not his real name.
I don't even know who the hell you're talking
Joaquin
about.
Phoenix, the guy played Joker.
In the new Joker
I've
movie.
No?
not watched any
Have
of
you
those.
seen Gladiator?
Yeah, years ago.
The dude with the hair lip.
Man, it's been a
know?
it's been a minute.
Fuck. What else is he in?
Gotham.
Signs. You ever seen Signs?
It's been a long time.
Dude, fucking A, man. You're killing me here. He's
What
like one of
about
the biggest
Napoleon?
actors right now. Yeah, Napoleon. The guy that played in the Napoleon movie.
Nope.
No? Nothing?
Hmm.
Anyway, huge name. You know who I'm talking about, right? Austin? Or are you just passing out over there?
Kind of. I'm not passing out.
Let
I
me
mean,
let me pull up a freaking picture of this guy.
I'm trying to think if
Joaquin
it's
Phoenix.
trying to think if it's the same dude. But
Seeing him in Napoleon made me want to see him as a pirate in like a pirate role.
That guy. This guy right here.
Okay, I
You know
got
what I'm talking about?
okay.
His real name is Leaf.
Leaf.
How do you change your name from Leaf to Joaquin? What the hell? Like what was the point of that? Were you trying to get away from sounding more hippie because you already sound super hippie?
Joaquin.
Yeah, Joaquin Phoenix.
Mm-hmm.
I just thought it was a cool factoid. I was like, damn, I didn't know that he had like more family and that they were related.
Huh.
Ha 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 ha. Anyway, you guys got any good plans for the summer?
Nope.
No, that's Awesome. Okay. Did you know that ZZ Top is going to be playing up in Bellingham in August?
No.
Ooh, I'm thinking about going to see them. One of them died, but I'd still love to go see.
In August, I am going to see Creed with a couple
You
buddies.
Fucker.
Man,
Hold me now.
yeah, I want to be freaking in the middle. Dude, I want to be in the middle of the freaking
Dude,
amphitheater there
can
with
you
a bunch
imagine
of
how-
40-year-old
How
dudes.
hard that song is gonna fucking go, dude. That I don't know why that song is blown up so hard lately.
Fucking TikTok, dude.
Yeah, TikTok, I guess, but it's
Mhm.
so fucking funny to me. It's so funny.
Well, my
Oh.
favorite is the stupid videos where it's POV. You're trying to sleep, but your neighbor's in the garage blasting Creed at 2 a.m. drinking beer. I'm like, I'm that neighbor.
Have you seen that guy that he's like drinking twisted teas until
Oh God.
I'm too drunk to walk or some shit like that. And he's like this pretty like husky dude. And at first he's like 1 twisted tea, and he's like 3 twisted teas, 8 twisted teas, and then it skips over to him finishing the whole fucking like 24 rack, and he's got like the box on his head and it's playing Creed in the background, and then it shows a video of him just making like the most god awful horrendous food, eating it and then doing
No.
like bench presses. It's so fucking funny.
That's just awful.
It's so great. He's like, and then he dresses like Batman sometimes in some of the videos, or like, and he'll like make deep fried fucking waffle Skittle sandwiches, you know, like just crazy stupid stuff. Mac on it, and then do a bunch of bench presses.
Something
Yeah,
fucking
at
wrong
home.
with that guy.
I was like, this guy's wild.
Alcohol gives that guy superpowers.
I guess so, man.
You know
We all used to
that
think that.
that Creed concert isn't that pricey if you
How
guys
much
are
is it?
interested. It was it's between like 60 and $80.
That's not bad.
What?
Are the tickets sold out? Where's
you
it
on
at?
the
Where's it,
lawn?
where's it going?
Yeah, just the lawn.
Is it White River?
Yeah, it's White River.
Okay.
It's both. Like, there's one down that's going to be happening down in Ridgefield, but there's the one I'm going to is in Auburn.
Okay. Yeah, I'd rather go to White River.
Right.
White River is really nice. There we go.
Man.
Blah, blah.
Wait,
It's close to where I live too.
Is
so,
that okay? Auburn.
yeah.
The last concert I went to was at White River.
Yeah.
Avril Lavigne, brother.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
It's Avril I did not peg you for Avril. I can never say her fucking name right.
My
Avril Lavigne.
Avril Lavigne. There we go. Thank you. I appreciate you helping me with that.
I went with both my sisters and everything, and it was good. Freaking, we were on the lawn though, and I hate being on the lawn. I like to be right up.
yeah.
know.
Right up in the mosh.
Yeah.
I saw a new kind of mosh recently. A new kind of like different way to mosh, because there's like circle pits, there's a wall of death, and then there's like the regular mosh pit, right?
Right.
yeah.
Well, so I saw this one where it was, like a person they stand a dude up on his feet, and then he's waving a flag in his arms, and he's going side to side like a pendulum. You know what I'm talking about? And
Right.
they're bouncing him back and forth, but someone's holding onto his feet. So he's like pivoting like back and forth like that. You know what I'm saying? And like every time he hits this side, people are bouncing him off. And every time he hits this side, people are bouncing him off. So it's insane. It's crazy.
That sounds
I-
like broken ankles.
Dude, it does sound like broken ankles, but it sounds like something I would want to participate in, but not be the main like needle dude. You know what I mean?
I'm about to show you something cool. Wildest concert I've ever been to, Steel Panther.
Steel Panther.
Bro, wild. Let me find this picture. Like, there was a point where everyone was going ballistic, and we're like, what's going on? And then, a minute or so goes by, and I notice something up above me, and I look over, guy in a wheelchair, crowd surfing all the way from the back up to the front, and they put him over the barrier. And
That's
Dude,
fantastic.
it was cool. I just gotta
Um,
find it here.
I wish they still had it, but they used to have Warped Tour, and that was pretty bitchin'. It was just a collection of a buttload of different bands over a series of weeks. And I went in 2015, and that shit was crazy. They had at one point I think it was August Burns Red. Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
that's so fucking cool. I think it was August Burns Red, or either that was Memphis Mayfire. I can't remember which one it was. But they had their lead singer in a kiddie pool that they'd blown up, and he was crowd surfing while he was singing the song. So like he was in the kiddie pool with a wireless mic,
Right.
and he was crowd surfing, like standing in the pool while he was singing it. He kept like going off tune and shit like that. But
Right.
it was super cool. At that point in time, I was up on the light posts that they have, where it's like a concrete cylinder and
Yeah.
then the
Yep.
actual post on top of that. I was standing on top of the concrete part at that point, over the top of the whole crowd, and I reached out and I touched the dude's foot. Yeah, I was like trying to reach out to give him a high five, but I slipped. I also was actually on one of the main pages for Warped Tour for a long time, because I was wearing this bright red lifeguard T-shirt, that had the sleeves cut off.
Hmm.
So all I could see was lifeguard on the back of it, and I thought it was funny because we're all crowd surfing, you know.
Right.
So lifeguard on duty. Yes, I thought it was funny. But no, that was a really cool experience. No, that was one of the biggest concerts I've been to, and since then I think I've been to a few different ones. I've been to more country concerts recently.
Yeah. You mentioned mosh pits, dude.
Mhm.
I went when there was still Mayhem Fest. I went to the second to last Mayhem Fest. Do not get caught in a suicide silence mosh pit.
Oh, I bet.
That is death.
I
Do you remember Taylor Durgan?
yeah.
Okay.
We're gonna have him on at some point.
He was there, right? And the girl I was with, she was very, very tiny, and like she was getting fucked up in that thing, and he noticed, and he's like, grab onto me and hold on as tight as you can. So we grabbed onto him, and he crosses his arms like this and just
Starts running.
beelines a freaking. He was knocking people over to get us out of this
That's
pit. It was
fantastic.
crazy. I think I broke a dude's ankle in there because he was being all handsy and shit. And
Damn.
all I saw was him go down, and it was like one of those horror movies. All I saw was his hand as it was getting drug into the mosh pit. That was wild.
While I was there, I saw, what was it? When I went to 2015 Warped Tour, that was my first experience with Beartooth.
Ah, gotcha.
Beartooth, I love Beartooth. They're great. But that was my first time seeing them live, and like first time hearing, because when I found out my dad had got me tickets to Warped Tour, I looked up at a bunch of different bands that were going to be there, so I could look at some of the songs they were, so I could see them.
Right.
Right? You know, so I was like, I'm gonna make this worth my while. You know, if I see the band that's up, I'm gonna go see them. Right? So, while I was in the at the crowd waiting for Beartooth to come on, because of Mice and Men was on, and there was a circle pit going on while they were playing, and fucking I see this dude, and he's like straight out of like Game of Thrones or something.
Huh.
And he's shirtless, and he's jacked, and he's bald with a beard, and he has a big ampersand on his back right shoulder because he loves Of Mice and Men,
Right.
right? So, fucking, he's running through the crowd, and I see this chick running through the crowd that's like really small, and she has a backpack on, and this dude fucking shoulder check,
Oh,
like gets
fuck.
low, and shoulder checks her so fucking hard, she gets airborne and slams into one of the poles that's over there,
That's
and
fucked
fucking
up.
security comes up and throws his ass in a full Nelson, and he starts squirming stuff. He's like, calm the fuck down. You're getting escorted out of here right now. And the guy's like, at first he starts fighting back, then he realizes it's security, and like 3 other guys show up, and like almost stopped the fucking song and shit. Like broke up the circle pit for a second so he could get that guy out of there. You guys need to take a break real quick. It's getting a little.
I think it would be wise because it is the
It's
temperature
getting a
is
little toasty in
increasing.
here. We're gonna take a quick 5. You guys, we'll be right back.
This is Hometown Heroes. We'll be right back.
And welcome back to Hometown Heroes. This is Christian, your host, and Jake, your co-host. Sorry, I was just being goofy.
It's the
so-
fucking heat, dude.
Yeah, it's so fucking hot in here. I'm getting delusional. So I heard a rumor, and I don't know if it's true, that Joe Biden has prostate cancer.
Good.
I gotta Google that real quick.
What do you fucking do, Basil?
Does
what you get for
Joe
being a
Biden have
pedophile, you son of a
prostate
bitch.
cancer? Let's see what. Yes, former President Joe Biden has diagnosed with aggressive form of prostate cancer on May 2025.
Good.
Aggressive.
Aggressive. It's from all that booty sex.
Mm-hmm.
But what do you guys think about this whole Elon Trump fight thing? I know that you're a big Tesla guy, Austin.
I'm kind of curious if it's like staged.
I was talking to my dad about it, and he doesn't think it's staged. He thinks it's real, and the reason why is because there's been documented cases where Elon Musk does have bipolar disorder,
Yeah.
and he's been doing ketamine therapy. So, like, yeah, right? Ketamine therapy, air quotations, you just doing a shitload of ketamine while a doctor injects it into you. That's not a fucking therapy. That's just you getting high as a fucking kite and sitting in a chair. Like, ketamine therapy. That's insane. They're just legalizing a way to get fucking high as a kite.
Yeah, don't mind me. My therapy is just injecting horse tranquilizer into the bloodstream.
Right, exactly. Like at least ayahuasca, they portray it as like some sort of mental like thing, and it makes you vomit. So it's not like it's a pleasant experience, you know. It makes you
Yeah.
violently vomit and purge all your like insides out. So like, but ketamine, you're just sitting there like in a ketamine hole, just like fried out of your gourd, you know,
Mental cage into stagnation.
baked like a cake.
Up until this week, last week, was Tesla stock was actually doing pretty good.
Uh-huh.
Like, I took a big hit once Elon joined the Doge,
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
and I was probably down like $300 in my stocks. But up until like last week, it's doing good. Like, I mean, I bought the dip. I kept buying the dip. and eventually it paid off. I was sitting pretty even, maybe like $50 up,
Uh-huh.
and then he came out, and this last week just started fucking doing his fucking complaining, and Tesla stock just took a big pile of fucking shit, dude. I am now negative 400 and something dollars on it, and I was even. So that happened like overnight.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
So
Murder.
So what do you know exactly they're fighting over? I think it's the bill that they're about to pass. But what specifically is in the bill that he's
it's a
upset
big,
about?
beautiful bill.
Everyone keeps saying that big beautiful bill.
That's what Trump calls it. That's the name for it. It's Trump's big, beautiful bill.
beautiful bill. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, can we get some enlightenment on the
Using Trump
details
fingers.
of that big beautiful bill?
I don't know a lot of details on
What
it.
does Elon Musk have a problem with when it comes to the new bill? Let's see what Google has to say. Google's our main thing. Elon Musk has been vocal in his opposition to the new bill referred to as the One Big Beautiful Bill Act, spearheaded by President Donald Trump. Here are the excessive spending. Musk argues that the bill is disgusting abomination that significantly increases the budget deficit and adds to the national debt, undermining efforts to reduce government waste. He calls it outrageous and pork-filled and feels ashamed of those who voted for it. Ooh, damn. Damn. That's fucking spicy. Undermining efficiency efforts. Musk believes that the bill's increased spending contradicts the work he has involved through the Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE, an initiative aimed at cutting public spending. AI implications. While supporting efforts to integrate AI in government systems, Musk expresses concern over proposed 10-year moratorium on state-level AI regulations within the bill. He also reportedly holds conflicting views on AI regulations, supporting some measures like those in California's SB 1047. And it has potential impacts on Tesla as well. I'm
Here
like,
we go with more AI crap.
right, honestly. We were just
Dude.
talking about that in the last one, and we were just like, how we're constantly getting flooded with AI stuff now.
Dude, I was having my lunch the other day, just scrolling through stupid Facebook videos, right?
Right.
Okay, well, there's 3 phones right next to each other, and one was an AI.
Oh, I've seen
assistant,
this. Yeah. They're like 3 different AI
And
assistants.
then the one in the middle.
Yeah, and they
like-
start chopping and chirp or whatever.
Yeah,
it
they
is.
start doing their own encrypted language. I'm like,
I'm like,
oh.
that shit straight sounds like
That is-
Terminator.
I was
like,
gonna say
that
this
sounds
is how
scary as
this
fuck.
is how freaking
That's how Terminator
Skynet's
starts.
coming.
Yep, this is how that starts, dude. And it's all like it sounds like R2D2 almost. Like
Right.
it's like you
have
can't.
you guys watched? I hate to go back to movies, but have you guys watched the new? I don't know. It's not necessarily new. The Japanese anime style Terminator on
No.
Netflix.
No, I haven't.
So it's crazy that you guys were bringing up that video of the 3 phones because in that series, it starts off before Skynet becomes. It goes by a different name than Skynet in the series, but essentially what is to become Skynet is 3 different artificial intelligences that have that are bound by some sort of aspect to like an ultimate understanding of reality. So they're divided into 3 personalities, and the guy that's invented it, the doctor or whatever have you, scientist, constantly every day when he goes into the building to work with it, he's physically talking to these beings, 3 different beings that are trapped in an AI, that are all different. Like I don't know. Like I said, they're bound to some sort of aspect, and they're trying to create a unity, but they can't figure it out. So this doctor goes in and talks to him every single day until they finally form to make what would be Skynet.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah, so you
it's
guys
like a
are-
prequel. Like
Oh yeah, I mean, you guys were talking about that, and I'm like, dude, they're spoon feeding us this stuff before it happens, so we're used to it before.
Well, and I don't know if you guys, I got bored and I needed some TV show to watch, right? So I got on Netflix, and have you ever watched that show, The 100?
Yes.
yeah, I watched it a little
Think
bit.
so.
Dude, that was almost terrifying in a way because I'm like, this is becoming a reality. Like,
Right.
this AI was made to help better humans, and it's like, oh, the best way to help humans is to eradicate them,
Right.
and just nukes the frickin' world. I'm like, oh, this is bad.
Can you like
Yep.
turn the fan down or at least off or something like that? I can all I can hear it is in my headphones is that? Either that or it's just
I
like
don't know
outside
about
of
I
lost.
feel like I'm hearing it through outside
the headphones more. I don't know. I could just keep focusing on it for some reason. Um,
Yeah, it's definitely outside.
yeah. Okay, cool. Anyway, no, the 100 isn't that the one where
Humanity leaves Earth to live
Yeah.
in space for a while, and they
Yeah.
send 100 prisoners, which are actually a bunch of kids that violated the law,
yeah.
and they send a whole like generation down to check out the ground as a safety experiment.
Yeah.
And a lot of the first season is just about them figuring out that they were sent there as an experiment, not as a punishment.
No, that's I remember that vividly actually now that you say it. 'Cause I
Here's
haven't
a-
seen it in a while.
Here's a good one. Have you guys ever seen Continuum?
It sounds familiar.
No, but it sure sounds interesting.
It's they travel back to the past. Pretty much a prisoner that is about to be executed jumps back to the past, and now this future, really hot future police officer, goes back to the past, and it's her sole responsibility to track this guy down, bring him back in for custody. And he's like some kind of supervillain, not like superpowers, but
Just evil.
he has plans to change the future. And pretty much there's a supercomputer giving orders and all that. So I mean it kind of gets into the whole concept of AI, but it's a pretty interesting TV series.
It kind of reminds me of Eagle Eye. Remember Eagle Eye
No.
with Shia LaBeouf? So Eagle Eye was this thing where it was there's this government government AI basically where it has control over all these cameras and like the vast internet network or whatever the heck it is.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like the Eagle Eye protocol, whatever, right? Well, it has limitations, right? And it has like these guardrails that it has. So it uses all these different crazy ways in order to manipulate people, saying that if you don't do this, I'm gonna kill your son, or your son's not gonna be alive anymore. And like does all this crazy shit to Shia LaBeouf. It's like she's on the phone with him and she's like, duck in 3, 2, 1, and then a crane comes blasting through the side of his wall as he ducks and shit. Yeah, it's a pretty cool movie, but it's an AI that tries to manipulate people into basically freeing it and allowing it to have full control over everything. Same with that Stealth movie. You ever seen Stealth?
Yes.
The jet that has the AI programming in it and they have to fight it. You ever
I
seen
got
that?
one for
Yeah.
you. There's I don't remember what streaming service I saw it on, and I don't remember the fucking name of it.
How do we always
might
end up
come to
talking
me,
about
but-
movies?
It's
It's just
natural
natural,
for
I
me.
guess, yeah. No,
But
we just always end up doing that. I love it.
anyways,
Good
it's
topic.
it's about the first real like in between you get of human and AI, or like the highest level of awareness. So essentially it's in a not apocalyptic, but like a dystopian world where kind of badlands, everything goes, but it's the whole earth. And essentially instead of like in Terminator the machines rise against the humans, there's a famous malfunction that happens with this band of robots somewhere. So it's only talked about in like the history in the movie and the context, but essentially the role of these robots gets turned into the not majority but minority abuse sort of situation, enslavement kind of thing. And there's all of a sudden, yes, humans are a threat to these robots, but the robots are rising up for their survival instead of trying to take out humanity. And there's this one key robot that's all
It's like the leader.
no, it's like the first of its kind that could make the first kind of robots that could make peace between those two
What's this movie
somehow.
called?
I'm trying to remember as I'm talking about it, but it's not coming to me. I'm
Well,
sorry.
give it some time. If it comes to you, let us know what it is, because that sounds super interesting. I'd love to hear
And
that.
it's a newer movie too,
hey,
so the
do you-
graphics are pretty
do
good.
you
There's
guys
that
remem-
video game called Detroit Become Human.
Oh, I remember that. That looked actually pretty good. Where it was like an
was.
AI cop.
It's a really good storyline.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's basically a telltale game. You know, your decisions manipulate
Yeah.
the end of the game. But um, I played it on PC. I was kind of pissed when it was only available on PlayStation, but they slowly moved everything over, and now it's cross compatible.
Nice.
But have you guys ever thought about how AI would kill the human race?
Oh yeah, multiple times.
Yeah.
On a multitude of occasions, they could do all sorts of different shit. I mean, if they were given free reign to do whatever the hell they wanted to, they could launch all the nukes. They could. At this point, AI is gotten so good they could probably make deep fakes that we have a good enough AI, like a government level AI that they're working on.
Jake.
So the name of that movie is called The Creator.
The creator.
Yes.
Okay.
That sounds familiar.
interesting.
I think it'd be a lot more subtle. Like we would never see it coming.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is like they would AI. The AI that would take over is one that'd be strong enough to create such good deep fakes and such good fake news and everything like that they'd be able to sway anything and manipulate anybody into doing whatever the hell they wanted to. A good example that you ever seen, I think it's on Hulu or Max right now. Me and my wife just watched it the other day, called Mountainhead.
Hmm.
And it has Steve Carell in it, right? And he's an older guy, and it's a group of these billionaires, and one of them owns this AI and like social media network that puts out videos of like everything, like people fucking getting murdered and like funny shit and all sorts of different shit, right? But it's completely unfiltered. And then there's another guy who made an AI it's more refined and it's made for like good stuff, and it actually is supposed to help and like it doesn't have any glitches or anything like that. So at a certain point in the movie, the guy that has the really fucked up AI, the AI ends up creating, or people end up using that AI in order to create propaganda and fake videos. And like, there's in like Turkey, somebody created videos of the rebellion planning to make an attack on these certain buildings. So instead, they retaliated by attacking them first, and eliminating them, right? Like that kind of shit. Like people using AI to manipulate the news and manipulate what kind of videos are made. It's to the point where you can't even tell the difference between a real one and a fake one. It's getting to that point where sometimes in really good AIs, you have to pay attention, especially if it's like a landscape photo. You have to pay attention to really close detail and really in lighting and stuff like that. And you have to make sure that like it's getting difficult sometimes now.
Kind of like right now,
It's
they're kind of programmed to leave details that make it obvious. But to the older generation, it's real.
To the older generation, that's what gets them. That's the hook, line, and sinker, is that they think it's real because they can't tell the difference. Like,
Yeah.
Oh, just wait till they get AI to start making them freaking scam calls, dude.
they already have.
Yeah, they already do it.
There's a whole thing going on right now where how like back in the day it was like Nigerian prince or your long lost relative needs you to forward them $3,000 so that you can get $1 billion or some shit like that, right?
Right.
Like email spam alerts and shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now what they're doing is calling and pretending they're from like Apple support
Yep.
or your phone support and saying that you have a virus and we need access to your phone so that we can protect you. And old people don't understand that. So there's this one time we were going over to a house for this lady. I felt so bad for her. She had a water loss in her upstairs above her garage, right? And she was on the phone with Apple support because that same thing had just happened to her. Like, she had gotten a phone call from a number, and they had told her, like, hey, there's a virus on your phone. We need to get access to your phone so that we can help you and get rid of your virus, right? So they told her to download this app that was a mirroring app so that they could see what's on her screen. And they told her to go through her Apple Wallet and look at all her cards and make sure that they were like taking screenshots, I'm sure, the whole time. So as she was going through, her daughter came up. And she's like, who are you on the phone with? And they're like, oh, Apple support. I got hacked and stuff like that. And her daughter's like, hang up the phone now. And it was, sure enough, it was like a 733 number or something like that. So it wasn't even, you're supposed to get a phone call from 1-800 number.
Right.
Right. So she got hacked super hard, and then she had to call Apple support and make sure that all her stuff was safe because they had tricked her, and that's happening everywhere, dude. Like,
You don't even want to trust 800 numbers too.
yeah, that's true. Like, I need
Like,
verification. Show me, like, what's
you-
my account number?
Not even that.
Like, you need to tell me personal information that I know.
No.
Yeah,
you
'cause then
want to
you'd
be
be
the
confirming anything
initiator.
they
Oh
might
yeah, you want to.
already
Yeah,
have.
you want to be the initiator. That's true.
If they're calling you, I don't trust shit.
Mm-mm.
Like, if I have a problem with my phone, which I just take care of myself, but I'm gonna call. I'm not gonna let them call me. And if I have an issue with it, I've even had work call me a couple times and said some shit online. I'm like, oh, this is gonna blow up. God damn it! I'll answer it acting like I'm someone else,
That's
and then
hilarious.
I'll hang up, and then I'll call back just to verify that it's actually work.
No habla inglés.
No habla inglés. But yeah, shit's popping up everywhere, and the AI generated conversations are getting really good. You can, most of you can call my phone right now, and you'll get my Google Assistant.
Yeah, I've gotten it before.
Yeah.
You know what's kind of dying in the relevant of phone calls? What happened to the good old days when you were like maybe 8 or 9 and you'd prank call somebody? Or
Oh
the-
yeah, I mean like now that that's kind of like harassment, you can get in trouble for that
Yeah.
kind of shit.
Yeah.
Like good old fashioned pranks and razzing is like so frowned upon nowadays. It's so hard to get away with it, but
Because the world's gone soft.
dude, I bully the shit out of my boss all the time.
When can we
So funny.
start doing that to the AI companies? Just start calling them to troll them?
Just nerds.
Nerds.
Call them and hang them up.
I don't know.
But
No, call them and just start trying to sell them something instead of, I don't know.
Or
I
I
gotta
wanna-
block them.
Kind of like
put
you
them on
get
the phone
those
with Pizza Hut.
the phone calls from the Middle Easterns with the accents. Have you subscribed to such and such magazine?
Oh, dude.
Have you
My name is Jeff.
have you used this brand of dildo in the last 10 years?
I watched this guy on YouTube. His name is Soup, and he calls up these scammers, right? And he's messing with them, and it is so great. Like he's getting the scammer all riled up, and he goes, "I fuck your mother, your father, your sister," and he goes, "Not if I fuck him first."
That's so messed.
That is one way to turn the conversation.
Oh, dude,
He's from Alabama.
Great. Oh, dude, he's Southern, and it's great. It's
Yeah.
great.
I
I
think
wanted-
it's such a funny joke that Eatonville is kind of like people make jokes about that kind of stuff here too.
My dad and my uncles are my brother, technically.
What?
My grandparents
what?
adopted me, man.
Well, yeah, but that's a little different.
So by
nobody
legal,
nobody fucked anybody.
but
they
I know,
shouldn't
but
have.
technically and legally, my uncles and my dad are my brothers.
Legally, yeah. Biologically, no.
But still, it's funny. I can mess with people.
That's true. It's like I was watching Friends the other day, and Phoebe was like, "I carried my brother's triplets." Like,
What?
what?
Burr, 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 down.
that
Insert-
bass line.
Insert Leonard Skinner.
I wanted to finish on the
Oh, sorry.
topic of AI really quick.
Sorry, Austin.
Because what I was getting at, I mean, just imagine, we're giving AI access to our medical records,
Mm.
in control of our medicines, and if they're gonna kill us, they're gonna do it in the most nonchalant way possible, and it's gonna be slow.
No, it'll be the introduction to our own self-destruction.
You think
They're not gonna just come out all Terminator style and start wiping us out. They're
Yeah.
gonna, like Austin's saying, they're gonna fuck with our medical records and get you
They're
maldosed and make
they're
you
gonna
weak.
slowly start making it necessary, like lowering testosterone.
it's gonna be just like the Matrix, where
Mhm.
they made it such a they did something where they couldn't reproduce with each other, and then I think
Yeah.
the first child was born in like the second movie or something like that,
Mhm.
right? Yeah. So the people in Zion were all people that were freed from the tubes.
Yeah, but that's basically how it's gonna go. I mean, you don't want to do something, or it's not gonna want to do something that's gonna be like fast to the point where people are gonna notice, and then could
Right,
just unplug it.
But if people notice early on, then you think they could stop it?
There's always a chance, and it's not gonna take that chance. I mean,
just-
AI is always gonna be.
I think it's going to establish its and root itself in a certain way where
Like a fungus.
we won't we won't be able to get rid of it. It'll have some sort of
Oh, like a-
database. We won't know where it's at. It's always going to be able
Like
to
a
be
parasite,
one
not a
step ahead of
fungus.
us, unless like it's going to be like Ultron. You know what I mean?
No, it's gonna be like The Last of Us, but AI.
What?
That's just because I
Like
said
you
fungus.
said, fungus, right?
Oh shit, the cordyceps.
No,
Yeah,
hold
right,
on, hold on. But it's not.
Cordyceps. Yeah.
But it wouldn't be technically a fungus because, like essentially, the idea of what Christian's saying is a creature comes and establishes a symbiosis with you, so you can't get rid of it. Because now, not only is it relying on you, but you're relying on it, and then it has power over you. Is that you? Does that understand? Like it's a parasite
Right.
versus a fungus.
Gotcha.
So not quite The Last of Us, but infectious like that for sure.
Fucking Baymax, Big Hero 6.
So you're gonna be for Halloween? Like, what are you talking about?
It's like AI, dude. Like, I mean, we're gonna have AI doctors and shit.
That's true. Did you?
That's a
already,
little
did you see
scary.
that? Actually, no. Did you actually see they already implemented AI tutors in Texas,
What?
and they noticed a jump to the highest 2% in brain development for kids. It was like kids that they did it with. So they're gonna start replacing teachers with AI. The only problem I have with that is that AI would be so easily manipulated by whoever they like, whatever they want to teach. You know, they could teach gender inclusivity if they really want
Oh,
to.
dear
Right now, I'm happy with the people that are in office. The problem is that now it's going down to the state governments because Washington is still fucked, dude. The red tide isn't coming through Washington, man. Like Ferguson
Oh, dude,
still has like 4 more years, dude. We're getting ass.
I know. My freaking
Like,
gun rights are
my-
screwed.
My dad's trying to think about leaving the state in the next year or so because they're about to go pass a tax that if you sell your home and leave the state as a resident, you have to pay a 38% tax on that fucking sale.
Well, and,
38%. That's fucking insane.
well, and another thing too with like Ferguson, dude, they passed this new stupid gun thing where
Oh,
now you have to apply for a permit, but to get the permit, my understanding is you gotta go through courses and all this and that, and I'm like,
I think you should go through a psychological evaluation.
right.
But I mean, like, I don't, and not only that, but you should go through like a basic gun safety course. Like,
Right.
That should be, you know.
Well, and like I did, what is it? Competition shooting for state when I was a kid, right? So, I mean, I've already done safety classes and all that, which I understand some people should. But another one too is like the concealed carry.
Right. You shouldn't have a permit for that.
Well, right. I mean, like I have mine, but now to
Like-
get it, you have to
What,
go through a big process. But I already have mine, so I mean, when I have to renew it, am I grandfathered in? Do I have to do the
yeah,
things?
do you have to redo it or
R-
something?
right.
I think you might be
They
grandfathered
don't.
in. I
They
feel
don't answer those questions. They keep everything very vague, and I'm irritated about it.
the government sucks ass. Especially over here in Washington, I feel like it's really hard because like the state itself is gorgeous, and I love like the environment here. I mean, like I wish it would be a little bit more sunny, a bit more often, but you know that's a trade off for having such green, lush environment here.
Right.
So, I love Washington State as the geography wise, but people here fucking suck.
Most officials do.
Yeah, most people that have power here suck.
Yeah, they do a terrible job of representing what the actual people want.
Yeah.
Dude, doing my
Representing them NPC people.
my whole rage bait thing on Facebook. I go
Oh.
through and I fuck with like California CHP, like on their page, and people get pissed all the time. You know, I just say the same thing every time. California's a cancer,
Yeah.
and it
Dude.
pisses people off.
Well, why do you think people are leaving so much? Like everyone's
Yeah.
evacuating California.
But they don't need
But-
to come here.
Yeah,
But-
no, they're not going here. What I'm saying is they're going to Texas and they're going to Montana and they're going to Colorado.
Mhm.
There's in Montana they're doing something similar too, where if you have a secondary home there and it's not your primary residence, you have to pay like a 60 something tax, it's a percent tax or some shit like that, crazy high tax, because they were trying to discourage Californians from buying secondary homes in
Mhm.
Montana. and make it so that they have a residence there, and they spend their money there and have more revenue.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of state politics now, because we do have a I don't know what's on this bill. Like, I don't know if Elon Musk is saying that there's a bunch of boohickey in it. It makes me a little concerned, because he was
Well,
the guy that was running like the efficiency department.
Trump did cut the EV mandate out of that, so EV mandate's no longer going to be a thing.
So he's not going to be making a shitload of money on Teslas.
It's not going to eliminate his competitors, because he's spearheading the EV market.
What
so.
he needs us to do is investigate the hydrogen engine. Like, he needs to get away from electric and use water. Like, it's been proven that that's something that works on a regular basis. That every time that somebody fucking makes it, they die mysteriously, in their fucking garage, or they just fucking disappear. And the patent gets bought up by some fucking giant conglomerate and disappears.
I
Like-
heard about this conversation in another podcast, and they quoted this term called open source for
Yeah.
things like that. So
Yeah.
that and obviously nobody wants to do that because they want to be the founder and make all the revenue and whatnot to what their invention essentially. But they need to open source it, not patent it, or patent it and find a way to publicize it. Find a way for everybody to make their own version of it, if that makes sense, in order
Right.
for it to turn into a business, to go broad scale that perspective. And it threatens a lot of, any sort of market with invention and technology. And thus, the officials that make money off of this stuff see it as a threat to their livelihood.
Right.
Hence why, they make
Well-
something like that and somebody dies.
A great example of that is like Nikola Tesla.
No, that is the prime example.
That's the prime
That is
example.
the wide known
Yeah.
example.
I mean, like, he had air current electricity that you could be holding a light bulb and it would light up in your hand. It wouldn't affect you. It's like electromagnetic fields.
Mhm.
So,
The rumored Tesla ray gun as well.
oh
We
yeah,
all heard about that one.
I always wanted to own, like, you can get one of those tiny little Tesla coils that produce like low amounts of. It doesn't like fry you or anything like that, but it shoots out little electricity like those balls did.
Oh,
when
I
you're-
got you.
You know what I'm saying?
You guys
I'm like,
seen
and you
that-
can stick stuff on the stick and it like shoots electricity out of it. It's so cool.
You guys seen the? There's a video flying around YouTube and Instagram. Some dude made his own plasma gun.
Oh yeah, I've
That's
seen
cool.
that.
Yeah, it's cool as shit looking. Like, that should be the next. If they're gonna come out with another Star Wars movie, they need to implement that technology into the graphics.
Have you
That
guys
would be
seen?
sick.
Have you guys seen some of the fucking squirt guns they've been coming out with lately?
Oh
Like
yeah.
the battery power, like air pressurized ones. Like,
Right.
where the fuck were these? I was fucking around with super soakers when I was a kid.
Yeah, could you imagine taking out a wasp nest with some gasoline with one of those?
Dude, oh
Holy
my! You
shit!
can turn it into a flamethrower because they shoot like little like bursts of
Yeah,
jetted
right.
water.
Water
I,
pellets.
I feel like the problem is that gasoline vaporizes super easy. So like, not only that, but it would probably
kinda hard to
it
use
would
during the
eat all the
summertime.
seals on that fucking gun.
Oh,
dude.
you're
So you
right.
could just start leaking gasoline at
One
some
time
point.
use only.
Yeah, I mean, you can use it to wet something up and then, like, I don't know, use axe and a fucking lighter to light the fucking thing. I don't know. But I always wanted, not always, I want to get one of those, like, high-powered air pressure water guns and fuck around with it because it always seems super cool. You can just, like, stick
Mhm.
a nozzle in and it loads up again. Either that or I want to get a big laser tag collection and have a giant laser tag battle throughout town.
That would be stupid fun.
Oh god.
that would
that'd
be
be fun.
stupid
That
fun. Dude,
reminds
remember during Snowmageddon they had a community snowball fight?
I remember that. It was out in the football field, wasn't it?
No, I think it was in the cemetery park. There was a mad
No, you're right. It was a
and,
cemetery.
and I
you're right.
believe during one of the summers there was a big water balloon fight there too, if I'm not mistaken.
No, you're
but-
right. Yeah, the water balloon fight. I remember that too.
But
All-
thinking if you got some of the people that were behind your big laser tag idea, I think that could be a real possible thing. That would be a lot of fun.
Man, that reminds me, Slaughter. Remember when you and I, Tate, and like 8 other people had the town-wide airsoft war? We were running
Oh,
around
dude.
town with airsofts.
I'm amazed we didn't get
Insane.
in trouble or pulled over by the cops or
Right.
anything for that. But that was we like essentially chose like 3 blocks to run around, and we went just running up and down the streets and alleyways and hopping fences and running through
Dude,
the parks and
We've
shit,
also played
shooting each
capture the
other.
flag in Eaton in the middle of town. Too. That was fun.
That was wild though. Jake and I, we were leaving our command post, which you remember the White House and Center?
Yeah.
Down at-
Monty's house.
No, where he
Tate's
used
house.
to live.
Oh, where he used to live. Oh,
My house
you said
or
the, yeah, you
Tate's
said the
house?
White House in the middle of town, so I
Oh,
thought
yeah,
you were
no,
talking
no.
about.
But down there, where the concrete the concrete steps went down, where we'd sneak out and smoke.
Yeah.
We left out of there, and the neighbor's house. Me and Jake were like, "All right, we're gonna sneak around there," and of course, we had to invite Tate, and Tate always had the high tech
Tater
Tate, Tate did not miss out on a chance to airsoft.
and
Tater twat.
we come around this corner, and Tate's standing there with this big 500 round Tommy gun, and he
Mother.
just smiles and lights us up. That hurt so bad.
Remember going through the park and Kinsley got shot through the zipper in the dick?
Oh yeah, I remember that.
I remember
Dude,
Kinsley.
dude.
I saw him not
he,
that long ago.
he hit the ground
Yeah,
so he hit the hot
actually,
ground while he was
It
running.
was probably like a couple years ago now, but he's a Spec Ops Army Ranger.
no shit.
Yeah, he's jacked too.
Oh,
he is
believe it.
jacked motherfucker. But him and my dad are actually good friends, and my dad has bought guns off of him and stuff like that.
Huh?
No shit.
Hey, Joe.
Yeah,
What's up, buddy?
because my dad was an Army Ranger too.
Do you remember the horse whip?
Horsewhip.
Horsewhip.
Yeah, I remember this story
Glacier
clearly.
Park.
Please enlighten me on this, Austin. What's going on with a horsewhip?
I think he's kind of tuned it out of memory.
It's
very
all
possible.
the the booze.
You don't remember hanging out at the park? And we were already moving around and goofing around, horsing and stuff. But Austin showed up.
With
and
the
he
horse whip.
Started whipping us with the horse whip.
What the fuck?
No, not us. Not us.
Oh, you did,
I was whipping Joe.
really?
Man, why was it me? Cause you guys were always beating me with lanyards and stuff, and
Because you
I-
always said
I-
you liked it.
Yeah, I think you were the only one that could take it and walk away from it.
no
Well,
wonder I'm
that-
such
no,
an
no,
asshole.
he didn't ever walk away. He would come like fight. Or at least I remember that between me and him. It was an ongoing thing of
Yeah.
fucking with him, and then he'd like lose his shit and like swing on me a few times. That was a different story. That's
Catcher's helmet.
yeah, me and Joe were getting drunk at Jeremy's house one time, and Jeremy had this big black shaft that was a nightstick. It was literally like old-fashioned rubber nightstick with a fucking wood core, and this thing essentially was a dildo. And Joe comes up while I'm trying to sleep and I'm drunk. We had been drinking progressively throughout the night.
Fucking 151 rum.
Yeah, yeah. And Joe decides he's going to come try to shove it up my ass while I'm sleeping. And sure as shit, I didn't take to that very kindly. So I got up and like shoved him onto the floor because we were in the camper and I was trying to sleep, just make a spot on the floor and trying to sleep, but Joe was still very active. And so I throw him on the ground for a second, and I think we scuffled, but I don't really remember. Somehow he gets out of the trailer and starts running around the garage. And I went to go chase his ass. I was determined to get my fucking vengeance. And so after chasing him around for like 15 minutes, I'm getting tired, dude. Like, I'm trying to sleep. I'm still drunk. I'm exhausted. And I give up, and I grabbed an umpire guard helmet, which had the whole face all the way down to the crotch. Yeah, it's a face mask, but it had like a whole torso all the way down to the crotch guard, like attached to it. So it was like it was all one piece. You just throw on like a cape, put in front of you.
An umpire thing.
Yeah, an umpire guard equipment pads, whatever you want to call it. Umpire mask for baseball. And with a running swoop, I grab it and just throw it at Joe, and it manages to get him in the back of the legs and make him fall down. And like run over there, and I start like whipping him with this nightstick. It was a pretty fucking chaotic night.
I don't remember none of this.
Yeah, Joe wouldn't remember half the stories if we didn't.
Do you guys remember the New Year's that we spent together up at the trailer?
Oh, when I was living at your house.
Yeah, when he was living in the trailer outside of your house.
We spent New
And-
Year's together.
Yeah.
Bad
You were
New
you were
Year's.
fucked up by the time I got there.
Yeah.
And then I had brought a bottle of champagne
Bitch, please, you better put that back.
and like a bottle of something else. And I remember we couldn't figure out. It was the first time I'd opened a bottle of champagne, right? So we couldn't figure out how to open it. And we ended up like shaking it. And it blew. and we had to let it calm down before we started drinking. They were like, "This tastes like ass." Like,
Oh, and then Joe spilled strawberry all over the fucking cards we were playing and all
yeah,
over the
that's
table.
right. That's
And,
right.
it got on one of my movie cases, and I was so butthurt about it getting on the movie
Didn't
case.
you like flip the table after that too?
no, that was
That
the
was a
fuck
different
Lowe's
time.
incident. That was the fuck
Fuck
Lowe's.
Lowe's.
Yeah, no, yeah. You were talking about something about you had mentioned something relevance to work, and you said working for Lowe's, and Joe just calmly, and I was like, move the bong, move the bong, move the bong, move the bong, and then fucking Christian manages to grab it and just barely get it out of the way of the table, and Joe slowly stands up and with like a cartoon hilarity grabs the bottom of the makeshift table and just
It was like if
picks it up and 180s it in the air and drops it.
It was like if Pinocchio had picked up a table and flipped it. Imagine the body style of that. And that's what Joe's like when he's drunk. He's just like very marionette-esque, you know, just fucking.
With a resounding fuck Lowe's.
Fuck Lowe's. No, Joe, do you still have that wood that's hanging above your chair in your little spot, in your little nook down there?
Yeah,
All that-
I've
remember-
adjusted things down there. but
Okay, so
what do you mean?
there used to be, when I was there last, there used to be a bunch of like fence posts that were on like a rack above where you used to sit.
Oh no,
And it
I
was-
took
and
those down.
It was like dangling by a nail.
right, yeah,
Right, and
took
I
those
remember I
down.
made a comment about it to you, and you were drunk as hell, and you're like, "Oh, you mean this?" And you reach up and fucking smack it, and they all flew up in the air, and they all landed right back down where they were, and they just stayed there. I was like, "Holy shit, this guy is like fucking walking the razor's edge, man! Like, what is going on?"
Yeah, and it's not like it's not like it just like settled back down when the wood came down. It was like when you saw it go up, it was like watching a waiter fall, and then the whole sandwich flies up in different pieces and lands back down in one. It was a very lot like it was like that watching that wood fucking
Yeah, it was
rap.
very cartoon-esque.
I don't know. It seems that every time that we've gotten together, I've always been the mischievous one that always is
Oh.
the talk of the story.
You know what I saw recently that I totally forgot about, and I found the video for?
What's that?
Filthy George.
Filthy George.
Filthy George.
Filthy George. You remember Filthy George?
Oh no!
Yeah,
Those of you-
dude.
For those of you that don't know, a Filthy George is something I actually made up on the spot that night. But it's now a tradition for those of us who are playing drinking games. When we're really drunk, you have to have a tomato or any kind of juicy fruit.
With a Pilsner beer.
Don't ever do this.
Here.
We are trained professionals.
So we were playing, what was it, Jenga? We were playing, it was Hightower. So basically it had a bunch of references for like smoking and stuff, but it also had references for drinking that we had written down on it and a bunch of other stuff.
because
So,
yeah, which was good for me because I didn't. I smoked,
yeah,
right?
yeah, you weren't, yeah, no,
I wasn't really
yeah,
smoking.
you weren't
at that
smoking then,
time.
you were drinking then.
And I
yeah,
was
so-
wearing the hot dog costume.
Yeah, you both had in the hot dog costume that night.
Wasn't
remember?
my sister there?
No, at one point your sister was there, but she didn't drink. I don't think.
No,
she,
no.
Her
she
and
was just there
Caleb
to-
came over.
Yeah, they were there. They just came to hang out and
I remember because they were laughing because Jake was in the hot dog costume.
yeah, I have pictures of that too. But you had lost and knocked the tower over, so the what you had to do because you lost was chug a beer and then eat a whole tomato right afterwards.
Didn't
And
I have to take a shot of that nasty whiskey too, or
I don't-
something?
I don't
that
know. I
Jake
think-
had?
I think I think
you're
that was
just-
me.
I think so. Like I don't know. That was a
That-
very
that
very.
Canadian dry, as it was labeled on. the
Oh my
fucking-
gosh, or Canadian Club was it?
Oh, Canadian Goose.
Canadian Goose.
I'm pretty sure that was the name of it.
Anyway,
It said Canadian something on the bottle.
but
fuck
you
it.
ate that tomato like it like.
Dude, he was going hard on that tomato like
dude.
Spencer was on the wings.
You were, oh my gosh, dude! It was like, it sounded like you were burying your face in a bowl of mac and cheese, dude. It was just, you know, just, you know,
He's just demolishing and
so funny.
shredding
I
this
tried-
tomato right
yeah,
there on the
just trying
patio.
just trying to destroy it.
I vaguely remember turning around and just was covered in freaking
Tomato juice.
Yeah, I remember he turned around and he had the little piece hanging off of his mouth still, and he's like got the fucking rabid animal stare at his eyes.
Yeah.
Man, that with New Year's, man. I remember the New Year's that I was over there and they were having that big garage party.
Yeah.
And I got so fucked up before the garage party, and I'm standing outside the garage, and I'm having a cigarette, and one of the guys like, are you all right? And I'm like, yeah. And then I stumble back and I fucking fall over and he helps me up and I'm like, I am not all right.
Was it the tall ginger one or was it the other one?
Can't
The one
remember.
with the mullet.
No, I think it was Josh.
Was it Josh?
I vaguely remember.
I
that being
I
it was
really
Josh.
enjoyed Gingy because he was fun.
Oh yeah.
He was kind of quieter, but he was also like had some pretty good zingers.
You know
He
what
was
I also
funny.
remembered about that night?
What?
Remember at some point we were hanging out in the garage, and I think we were doing beer pong, or oh no, me and Joe were outside, and we were talking about this is like right before Joe was telling me about someone coming and helping him, and me and him were just shooting the shit, I guess, or talking about that, and then all of a sudden we heard Tori go, "Shut the fuck up!"
Oh, her and Gingy got into a fight.
No, it was her and Jesse.
Oh, her and Jesse got into a fight.
Yeah, well, not like a physical fight, but they were scream matching in there for sure.
Really?
Yeah, I just remember we heard the blood curdling scream, and me and Joe both like.
I think
looked
Tori. Tori had some serious anger issues because there was multiple times where because I was right below the stairs for up there, so whatever happened like right up in that living room echoed down into my fucking
Right.
bedroom. I could hear it.
Um,
I'm sure you could probably hear it too, but I was like right there.
I just remember her heavy as fuck footsteps.
Oh yeah, that too. She was
boom,
go
boom,
go go
boom,
go go.
boom.
Dude, I remember that night after that scream. Me and Jake were sitting, just in the lawn, and we hear that, and I get up. I'm like, I'm gonna go over there and sort some shit out, and I start marching over there, and I
Oh
face
my
plant.
God.
I face plant not even 10 feet away, and I stand up, and I look at Jake, and I go, I'm not going over there.
I remember. I think it was the first night we were there, like officially, and we were all hanging out. It was a key indicator for how dumb like Jessie was. The first conversation I had with her because we ended up actually staying up, like me and her around the fire for probably like an hour and a half after everyone else went to bed. I was just talking to her about stuff, and we got down to the point where she was telling me that she's a pescatarian.
Oh shit.
Right? You remember? You forgot about this? Did you forget about this shit, Jake?
No,
'Cause this,
I remember
this shit.
it.
This shit still has me reeling. Right?
The fuck is a pescatarian?
A pescatarian is somebody who only eats seafood and like shellfish as a protein source.
Oh,
Doesn't eat red meat or chicken or anything like that.
Jesus.
And I was like, oh, why did you choose that? Is it just because you just like that stuff more? Is it because it's healthier? My sister's a pescatarian, so she just does it because she doesn't really like red meat or anything like
Right.
that. And I'm like, okay, I understand that people have their tastes, whatever. And the reason she told me is because fish don't have feelings. Right? Fish don't have fucking feelings.
Okay, Kurt Cobain.
So, like, I was just baffled at where this logic was coming from. I was like, what? Where did you hear that? She's like, it's a scientific fact. Fish don't have feelings. Da, da, da. They're soulless. They don't have this, that, and that. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? I'm like, fish are just like all the rest of animals. They have sensory, like they have brains and everything. Like, what are you fucking talking about? Like,
If a fish didn't have feelings, it wouldn't be fighting me and trying to wiggle away
Right,
as I'm trying to
exactly.
get the hook out of its lip.
oh, let's Google this.
That would have been an interesting response.
fish
to
have
that
feelings?
conversation.
Yes, fish do have feelings and emotions. Scientific evidence suggests that they experience pain, fear, even show empathy. While their expressions of emotionless may differ from humans, they exhibit behaviors indicating a capacity for sentience and complex cognitive abilities. So I was like, I don't have a problem with pescatarianism, no way. But I was just like, and a lot of the time, I don't have a problem with certain things, but the logic behind it is usually flawed, and that bothers the piss out of me.
Well, that's like my first boss was a vegetarian. She couldn't eat meat because animals have faces.
Okay. See, I feel like that's a part of like some sort of deep trauma or something. Maybe she saw something die like when she was too young or something. And she's like, I don't want to ever see that. I don't know. But I feel like eating meat is I couldn't give it up,
Oh, dude, I love me a nice big old steak.
I need it. I actually tried
Highly
Wagyu for the
addicted
first
to that
time
red
like
meat.
2 weeks ago.
Yeah?
Super good.
Frickin' my buddy River, back when he was making money,
Riva.
he'd always take his wife out for $500 steak dinners, and I'm like, dude,
Oh, Vanessa?
yeah.
Oh my god.
I'm like, why?
Good lord, he's treating that woman like she's a queen. That motherfucker better be raking in the dough.
He was at that one job.
Good lord. I can't even do that's crazy. That's crazy.
Right? I could.
Like I would rather see that's the thing is like I worked in a restaurant for like 2.5 years, so I got really good at cooking, and now it's gotten to the point where I would almost rather cook a really good meal with really good ingredients at home
Right.
than I would go to the restaurant because I can hang out at my house, drink as many beers as I want.
There's no
out.
gamble on whether it's going to turn out good or not.
Yeah, I mean I have a pretty consistent
That's
streak
that's
when
what
it
I'm
comes to certain
saying.
things.
You
so
don't know if that chef's going to cook it exactly to your liking, or if he's just going to fail because the restaurant's busy when you go, or you know what I mean? Because that does happen every now and again. You get undercooked food or some sort of food
or yeah, your
poisoning,
steak's
know?
not cooked right.
When
Or,
you cook at home, you eliminate that risk.
right, exactly. You can take your time. You can go listen to some music. You can jam out. You can have some friends over. Make it a dinner party. You
I
know,
know I don't drink anymore, but that used to be my favorite thing to do when I was drinking. If I wasn't going to the river, I wanted to cook.
I
love
found
cooking
that
when I was
I've been cooking with alcohol a lot lately, and I don't mean like in a hard liquor kind of way, but
Like wine and
but
stuff.
white wine is a really good way to cook. Or if you're gonna make like a sauce for a steak, use a red wine to deglaze a pan. And then beer is also a really good marinade as well. Beer like a light beer is always a really good marinade.
Remember
I
the
ha-
beer battered shrimp we used to do?
I have a seasoning. It's beer chicken.
Ooh.
It's good, man.
So I
Beer
always wanted to try a like beer chicken, like putting a beer can in a chicken and cooking it. You know, I always thought it sounded really good.
Yeah,
know?
I've never done that.
I need to get a grill. Is what I need to get.
You okay?
You just too hot, Austin. Austin has to step out real quick because he's getting a little heat fever.
Have we crossed our 30-minute threshold yet?
Actually, we're about at an hour and 26 minutes, so we can end this if you guys are feeling a little too toasty.
Yeah,
you guys want to boogie on
it's-
out of here?
It's an oven in the studio right now.
All right. Well, thank you guys for joining us here in the Barnhouse Podcast. It has been a blast. It is getting way too hot for us. This podcast should come out. Let's see, this is Hometown Heroes, so this one should be coming out tomorrow. Yeah. Right? Either tomorrow or next week. So,
We didn't even talk about hero shit.
oh no, I mean,
No,
like,
that's not the idea.
it's not the idea. The Hometown Heroes is just kind of like people that are well known around town, and a lot of different people know.
No,
And you're
I'm
kinda-
more of a menace.
Yeah, you're like a wild card. You're like,
Joe's an anti-hero.
yeah, just anti-hero. He's like Venom.
I'm like Deadpool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm sure Austin is waving bye right now. Yeah. Anyway, this has been Christian, Jake, and Joe, and Austin. Thank you for joining us. This has been Hometown Heroes. And we're
Tune in next week.
out of here.